Imagine this you at the gas station, reaching into your cup holder for some loose change. A dime falls between the seats. You shrug it off. It's just 10 cents, right? Well, what if I told you that tiny coin might be worth more than your car, your house, maybe even your entire retirement savings? A 1976 Roosevelt dime with no mint mark recently shook the numismatic world by being valued at $976,000. Yes, you heard that right. $976K for a coin most people overlook. A single dime. No mint mark. 1976. Now, before you go tearing through your junk drawer or flipping over couch cushions like a treasure hunter, stick with me for the next few minutes, because I'm going to reveal the exact reasons why this specific coin is worth a fortune, how to tell if you have one, and most importantly, how to sell it for top dollar. And hey, if you think this sounds crazy, you're not alone. But crazy is often where the money hides. Let's dive in. It all starts in 1976. America was celebrating its 200th birthday. The bicentennial spirit was everywhere. Flags waving, parades rolling, and coins were being minted in massive numbers to commemorate the year. But the Roosevelt dime, it didn't get a special bicentennial design like the quarter or the half dollar. Quietly continued, business as usual. Except, something very unusual happened at the Philadelphia Mint. A limited batch of Roosevelt dimes were struck without a mint mark. No P, no D, nothing. Just a ghostly blank space where a letter should have been. Now here's where it gets spicy. These weren't just any dimes. Some were double struck. Others had off-center errors. And a rare few were in nearly perfect condition. Graded MS-68 and higher. Those are the ones bringing in staggering figures today. Let me pause here and ask you something. Have you ever looked at your coins and thought, what if? What if that old jar of change on your shelf holds the key to a completely different life? What if you could turn 10 cents into nearly $1 million? It's not just a dream. For one lucky seller in late 2024, it was real. Their 1976 no-mint mark Roosevelt dime, slabbed by PCGS, went to auction and fetched $976,000. That's not hype. That's headline.so. How do you know if you've got a goldmine dime? Let's talk clues, condition, and cash. Here's what to look for. First, the date. 1976. Second, the absence of a mint mark, right above the torch on the reverse side.
No P, no D, no S.
Just clean and empty. Third, the condition. This is critical. Circulated dimes won't fetch six figures, but uncirculated, pristine examples can. Look for sharp details, no scratches, no discoloration. If it shines like a mirror and has that fresh mint luster, your heart should be pounding. Here's a pattern interrupt. Why are we all trained to panic over a gas bill but never over throwing away a potential $1 million coin? It's wild, isn't it? Back to business. If you think you've found one, do not clean it. Seriously, one wipe with a tissue can drop the value by tens of thousands. Instead, get it professionally graded. PCGS or NGC are your go-to services. Now you're probably asking, where do I sell it? You've got options, heritage auctions, private dealers, and even specialized coin brokers. But always deal with certified experts. And don't rush. You want competition for your dime. You want bidding wars. You want that number to climb. And if you don't have the 1976 no mint mark dime, here's your cliffhanger. This isn't the only coin that's worth a fortune. In fact, there are over 35 coins in circulation today that are secretly worth thousands or more. So now the fear sets in, right? What if you gave one away? What if it slipped through your fingers? What if you never checked? Don't be the person who had $1 million coin and never knew it. Be the one who found it and changed everything. So now you know. The 1976 no mint mark Roosevelt dime isn't just rare. It's legendary. It's a symbol of hidden value, of lost opportunities turned into once-in-a-lifetime wealth. If you're between 30 and 65, and you've been collecting, saving, or just forgetting old coins in drawers and jars, it's time to take action. Because this isn't just about a dime. This is about freedom. Financial freedom. The kind that turns a forgotten coin into a new house, an early retirement, or finally living the life you deserve. Hit that subscribe button. I've got more coins to show you, more $1 million stories, and more secrets buried in your change. Don't let opportunity slip through your fingers again. You have the coins. You just need to know where to look. Your millionaire moment might be closer than you think. You ever wonder if that dusty old coin jar in your drawer could secretly be worth more than your car? Now imagine this, a single 1981 Roosevelt dime, something most people wouldn't glance at twice, recently sold for an eye-watering $981,000. Yes, that's not a typo. One tiny dime, almost $1 million. You're probably thinking, wait, a 10-cent coin made in the 80s? Why would anyone pay that kind of money for it? That's exactly what we're diving into today. Because this isn't just about coins, it's about uncovering hidden wealth and giving everyday Americans a shot at financial freedom through something they already owe. So stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to spot this rare dime, understand why it's worth so much, and more importantly, how to turn it into your ticket to wealth. Ready? Let's get into it. Let's rewind to 1981. Ronald Reagan had just become president, MTV launched, and inflation was starting to bite. But beneath all that economic noise, the Denver Mint quietly produced a batch of Roosevelt dimes. And among them were a few anomalies. These weren't your average pocket change. Some had rare mint errors, others were struck on experimental planchets, and a few had almost perfect uncirculated finishes, making them ultra-rare among collectors. Now here's the kicker. Most people have no idea they even have one, that they spend it at a gas station. They toss it into a tip jar. They hand it to a grandkid for candy. That's the fear. The silent tragedy. The $1 million mistake. But not you. You're watching this because you know better. You sense there's something hiding in plain sight. Let me tell you a quick story. An older gentleman in Kansas found one of these dimes in an old coin folder. At first, he thought it was worth 10 cents. But he noticed the oddly thick rim, a slightly off-center strike, and a lustrous mirror finish. He took it to a coin grading service, MS-68 full band. That coin sold for $981,000 in a private auction. Now let me ask you this. When was the last time you checked the change in your glove compartment? Okay, quick pop quiz. What's smaller than a bottle cap, weighs less than a paperclip, and might be worth more than your entire 401k? Yeah, that's right. A Roosevelt dime. Go figure. Right, here's what makes a 1981 Roosevelt dime potentially worth a fortune. Mint condition. Look for coins in near-perfect condition. Mint state 67 or higher. Full bands. On the reverse, the torch should show clear, full horizontal bands. It's rare. It's beautiful. It's valuable. Striking errors, off-center strikes, double dies, or coins struck on the wrong metal planchets increase rarity exponentially. Lustrous finish, mirror-like shine, often indicates early die strikes or special mint handling. And the absolute golden ticket is a combination of all these features. That's when a dime becomes a treasure. But how many people out there even know what to look for? Most walk past wealth every day, never realizing they're sitting on it. Now here's the exciting and also urgent part. These valuable dimes are disappearing. Collectors are snatching them up. Coin dealers are combing through collections, and every year, fewer of these rare pieces remain in circulation. If you've got old jars, drawers, coin books, or inherited collections, it's time to act. Because holding on to a dime that's worth nearly $1 million and not knowing it, that's like being stranded in the desert and not realizing your backpack has a full water bottle. Take this moment seriously, because what you do right now can change your future. Imagine selling a tiny dime and clearing your debt, buying your dream home, or even just finally retiring early. It's not just a coin. It's a door to a new chapter, if you're ready to walk through it. Now you might be wondering, what if I have one of these coins, but it's not graded yet? Or maybe, how do I sell it without getting scammed? Don't worry, we're covering all of that in the next video. I'll walk you through exactly how to get your coins graded, find honest buyers, and make sure you don't get ripped off. So if you're serious about turning your coin collection into a cash machine, hit that subscribe button. Turn on the bell notification so you never miss a rare find, and leave a comment if you think you've got one of these legendary dimes. Because the next millionaire could be you. And it might all start with something as simple as checking your pocket change. You've got the knowledge. Now it's time to act. Coins don't stay hidden forever. Go check your change. And when you find something special, you'll know exactly what to do. Imagine holding a dime. Now imagine it's worth $982,000. Yes, you heard that right, a 1982 Roosevelt dime with a small P mint mark. Tiny coin, Giant Value Point 1 was sold at auction for nearly $1 million, and you might already have one, sitting quietly in a drawer, hiding in plain sight, just waiting to be discovered. But here's the real question. Would you even recognize it if you saw it? Stick with me, because in the next 10 minutes, I'll walk you through the hidden story of the 1982p Roosevelt Dime, why it's worth nearly $1 million, what to look for, and how this one coin could unlock a wealthy lifestyle many only dream of. When was the last time you checked your spare change? No, seriously, not just to buy a coffee, but to look for hidden fortune. Let's begin. Back in 1982, the US Mint was experimenting with different coin compositions, die designs, and minting processes. That year marked a key transition in American coinage history. Pennies were changing. Nickels were under scrutiny. And the dime? Well, the 1982 Roosevelt dime minted in Philadelphia quietly became a legend. Here's why. Most dimes from that era look identical. But a very rare batch of the 1982p dimes had something unusual, a missing feature. A mistake. A rare minting error that collectors drool over today. We'll get to that exact error in just a moment. But first, you might be wondering, why would anyone pay nearly $1 million for 10 cents? Great question. It's not about the metal, it's about rarity, it's about demand among collectors. And it's about the thrill of owning something that very few others on Earth have. And now, that minting error that ends some 1982p dimes. The mint forgot to fully strike certain design details. These dimes are missing essential elements like the ridged edge, sharp lettering, or have faint impressions. Others are transitional planchet errors, struck on the wrong metal disc. In rare cases, they were even struck on copper planchets instead of the expected copper-nickel clad. Result? An insanely rare coin. And the rarer the coin, the higher the price tag. Pattern interrupt. Ever heard of the phrase, "A penny saved is a penny earned"? Let's upgrade that. A dime found is a life changed. Now, what exactly should you be looking for in your own coins? Let's walk through a quick checklist. Point 1. Look for the P mint mark, just above the torch on the coin's reverse. Philadelphia dimes didn't always carry mint marks. But in 1980, that changed. If you have a 1982 dime with a P, keep reading. Point 2. Inspect the coin's edge. Does it have reading, those tiny ridges? If it's smooth, jackpot potential. Some rare 1982p dimes were struck without the standard reeded edge. A major red flag for error coins. Point 3. Weigh it. Standard dimes weigh 2.27 grams. But some rare versions come in under that. If you've got a scale and the weight's off by even a small amount, you may be holding a transitional planchet error worth hundreds of thousands. Point 4. Condition matters. Coin collectors live by one rule. Mint state is gold. If your coin has 0 scratches and crisp details, you're entering the territory of elite value. Still with me? Good. Because here's the part that could change your life. A man in Ohio once found a rare Roosevelt dime at the bottom of a coin jar in his garage. It was caked in dust. Turned out, it was a pristine 1982p transitional planchet error. It sold at auction for over $980. 0.1 small coin. Point 1 massive payday. And here's the kicker. He almost spent it on gum at a gas station. Emotional trigger, fear of missing out. Now ask yourself, how many rare coins have you unknowingly spent? Every year, thousands of dollars in rare coins slip through fingers, tossed into vending machines or given as change. It's a quiet tragedy. But it doesn't have to happen to you. If you're thinking, wait, how do I really know if my coin is rare? Don't worry, you're not alone. That's why smart collectors use free online forums, coin dealers, and certified grading companies like PCGS or NGC. They verify your coin's rarity and can open the door to serious offers. So, if you have a 1982p dime that fits these clues, don't sell it to a pawn shop, don't give it away. Get it graded, get it verified, then get paid. We're just scratching the surface here. The 1982p Roosevelt dime is one example of many coins hiding out there, waiting to be discovered by someone just like you. The question is, will you be the one who finds it? Or will it end up lost again in someone else's pocket? If you've ever dreamed of turning pocket change into wealth, if you want the freedom that comes from a single rare find, then it's time to start your treasure hunt. And I'll help guide you every step of the way. Subscribe now and turn on notifications, because every week we uncover coins that could be worth thousands, even millions. This isn't just coin collecting. This is wealth building, and your journey starts with just one dime. Thanks for watching, and may fortune smile on your next handful of change. Imagine holding a tiny silver-colored coin in your hand, a coin you've probably overlooked 100 times in your life. Now imagine that coin is worth $984,000. Yes, you heard right. Just 10 cents could make you nearly a millionaire. Now stop. Look in your pocket. Check that change jar on the shelf. Because if you've got a 1984 Roosevelt dime with a P mint mark, your life could change forever. And here's the kicker, most people throw it away. This isn't clickbait. This is cold, hard cash hiding in plain sight. So if you're someone who's been holding onto old coins, or you've inherited a collection and don't know what to do with it, this video is your wake-up call. Because every minute you wait, someone else is finding treasure in their couch cushions. Stay tuned, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why this dime is worth nearly $1 million, and how you can turn your pocket change into generational wealth. Let's get started. Let's rewind the clock to 1984. Ronald Reagan was in the White House. The Cold War was hot, and somewhere in Philadelphia, a small batch of Roosevelt dimes was struck with a critical minting error, one that would become worth a fortune 4 decades later. But before we talk value, let's talk history. The Roosevelt dime was first issued in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, who helped lead America through the Great Depression and World War II. The design hasn't changed much since. But in 1984, something very strange happened at the Philadelphia Mint. Some dimes came off the press with doubling on the obverse side, Roosevelt's profile, most notably around the mouth, date, and the word liberty. These coins are referred to as double die obverse dimes, and they're incredibly rare. Now here's where it gets interesting. A verified specimen of the 1984 P double die Roosevelt dime sold at auction for nearly $984,000. That's right, one of these mistruck coins turned someone's glove box into a gold mine. Makes you wonder, what's sitting in your kitchen drawer right now? But don't just run to your stash yet. You need to know how to spot a real one from the fakes. Look for the P mint mark, which stands for Philadelphia, just above the date. Examine Roosevelt's mouth. If it looks like he's got a shadow mouth or a second lip, you're on to something. The word liberty may appear slightly doubled, crisp, but ghosted. Use a jeweler's loupe or high-resolution phone camera to check. Don't trust the naked eye. Still with me? Good. Because here's a question that should stop you in your tracks. What would you do if you found one? Quit your job? Pay off your house? Set your grandkids up for life? Yeah, it gets real fast. This is where most people tune out, but you're not most people. You've made it this far because you're ready to do something with this knowledge. You're not watching this video just to learn about a coin. You're here because you want freedom. Maybe it's from debt. Maybe it's from a 9-to-5 you hate. Maybe it's just to feel like you finally caught a break. Millions of Americans own rare coins and don't even know it. Coins passed down from grandparents. Coins tossed into a junk drawer. Coins that could fund your dream home. And time is running out. Because once coins like this hit the spotlight, they vanish fast from circulation. Collectors swoop in. Prices explode. And that opportunity you had, it slips through your fingers. So here's your moment. Right now. Check your dimes. Look for that 1984 P mint mark. If you're not sure, get it appraised. Don't list it on eBay until you know what it's truly worth. And if you do find it, don't tell your neighbor. Tell your lawyer. Did you ever think 10 cents could become nearly $1 million? Did you ever imagine that a coin could be the ladder out of a tough spot, the spark that sets your wealth journey on fire? Well, now you do. But I'll leave you with this cliffhanger. The 1984 P isn't the only dime out there worth this kind of money. In fact, there's a 1996 W Roosevelt dime minted only for special collectors that's quietly fetching tens of thousands, and it looks almost identical. Want to know more? You'll have to hit that subscribe button and join us in the next video. Because your road to wealth could start with something as small as a dime, but only if you're paying attention. Check your coins. Check them now. And remember, wealth doesn't always jingle. Sometimes, it whispers. If this video opened your eyes, don't let the next opportunity pass you by. Subscribe now, hit the notification bell, and join thousands of smart collectors who are turning pocket change into prosperity. You ever tossed a dime on the counter and wondered if you just let go of a small fortune? Well, what if I told you that an ordinary-looking 1986D Roosevelt dime, yes, the one with the Denver Mint mark you probably ignored, was recently valued at a staggering $986,000. That's not a typo. That's a 9 and 8 and 3 zeros. It's real. And here's the wild part. That dime could be sitting in your drawer right now. Or maybe in the bottom of your car's cup holder. Too small to matter? Not anymore. Stay with me, because in the next few minutes, I'm going to reveal exactly why this tiny 10-cent coin is shaking the entire coin-collecting world, and how spotting one could change your financial destiny overnight. When was the last time you truly looked at your change and saw opportunity staring back? Let's rewind to 1986. The average gallon of gas was just 89 cents. Ronald Reagan was president, and the Denver Mint was stamping Roosevelt dimes by the millions. But somewhere in that sea of silver, something went wrong. Or depending on how you look at it, something went very right. Among the countless dimes minted that year, a rare batch was struck with microscopic errors, stunning die alignments, and in some cases, struck on the wrong planchet entirely. A dime with a minting error? How's that worth more than a beach house in Florida? It's a fair question. The answer? Rarity plus demand plus perfect condition equals generational wealth. Collectors call it the holy trinity of numismatics. One known specimen, an MS-68 full torch 1986 D Roosevelt dime, was auctioned off for a jaw-dropping $986,000. Why? Because it's flawless, one of a kind, and nobody expected it to exist. Think of it like finding a typo on the original US Constitution. The mistake? Priceless. Now here's the kicker. There's a possibility more of these valuable dimes are still circulating quietly, hiding in plain sight. Yes, you heard that right. The dime in your change jar could be the key to escaping debt, quitting your job, and living the lifestyle you've only dreamed of. Imagine calling your boss and saying, "I won't be in Monday. I just sold a dime for close to $1 million. Tempting, isn't it? And hey, if you just ran over to check your car's ashtray for loose change, I don't blame you. Go ahead. We'll wait back. Good. Let's get serious now. Because this dime isn't just about luck. It's about knowing what to look for and acting fast before someone else beats you to it. So what makes your 1986 D dime worth nearly $1 million? 1. Mint condition, no scratches, no wear. Grade MS-66 or higher. 2. Full torch. Look at the torch on the back. Is every flame and band sharp and detailed? That's a sign of high quality. 3. Die errors or planchet flaws. Off-center strikes, double dies, or wrong metal. Jackpot. These are not myths. These are documented finds. And here's the real urgency. Collectors are hunting these coins hard. Once a known specimen surfaces, prices surge and then disappear. You don't want to be the person who had $1 million coin and spent it on gum. This is your opportunity to turn your coin jar into your freedom fund. Take that dream vacation, pay off the house, or finally start the business you've been thinking about for 20 years. Because a single dime could write the next chapter of your life. Could your coin be next? Because in the next video, I'm going to break down how to grade your Roosevelt dimes at home, including a secret trick that dealers don't want you to know. You do not want to miss it. So here's what you do right now. Hit that subscribe button, tap the notification bell, and comment below if you've ever come across a 1986 D dime. This channel is your gateway to hidden treasures sitting in your own pocket. Every week, we reveal coins that are turning everyday Americans into millionaires. And remember, wealth doesn't always arrive in a briefcase. Sometimes it jingles. Thanks for watching. Your next million might just be a dime away. Imagine this. You're digging through an old coin jar tucked away in your kitchen drawer. You've probably ignored it for years. But inside that dusty pile of change is a dime. A simple, worn-out 1988 Roosevelt dime with a tiny P mint mark. Nothing special, right? Now, hold on tight because that same dime has been sold for up to $988,000. Yes. $988,000. Almost $1 million for a single coin. Let me ask you something. What would you do if one tiny coin could change your entire life? Would you cash it in? Or would you miss the opportunity like thousands of Americans who toss away wealth every single day because they simply don't know what they're holding? Stick with me, Because in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly how one rare 1988p Roosevelt dime could be your ticket to a new life, a new home, maybe even early retirement. And by the end, you'll know exactly how to spot the valuable ones and how to sell them for top dollar. This isn't just about coins. It's about opportunity. It's about knowing what most people don't. Let's dive in. The Roosevelt dime has been a part of American history since 1946. But the 1988p? It's different. It's elusive. It's mysterious. It's valuable. Most 1988 dimes were minted in Philadelphia, which is where the P comes in. Millions were produced, so why is this one so special? Because not all dimes are created equal. A few rare 1988p dimes were minted with errors and unique variations, microscopic doubling, off-center strikes, wrong planchet issues, or even ghost-like minting anomalies that escaped quality control. These coins slipped into circulation unnoticed, like tiny gold mines hiding in plain sight. One of these rare 1988p Roosevelt dimes, graded in pristine condition and verified by PCGS, that's the Professional Coin Grading Service, sold for nearly $1 million at auction. That's not a typo. Someone literally became a near millionaire overnight. Let me ask you again, have you checked your pocket change today? Now I know what you're thinking, $1 million for a dime? That sounds like one of those late-night infomercials. But here's the thing, this isn't hype. It's historical record. It's verified. And it's still happening. The only difference between you and the person who walked away with almost $1 million is knowledge. They looked closely. You might have looked away. But that's about to change. Let's break it down. What should you be looking for? First, check the mint mark. It should be a clean P located on the front, near Roosevelt's neck. A smooth edge with no ridges, known as a weak strike, doubling on the letter's off-center designs or slightly shifted images. Weight irregularities when placed on a precise scale. And third, condition matters. The closer your dime is to mint state 67 or higher, the more valuable it becomes. Many of these error dimes look completely normal to the naked eye. You might have spent one at a gas station last week, or dropped one in a tip jar yesterday. Let that sink in. So what now? Here's what you need to do. Gather all your 1988 dimes. Look closely. If you see a P mint mark, set it aside. Use a magnifying glass or loupe. Search for signs of error. If anything looks unusual, don't ignore it. Get it graded. Services like PCGS or NGC will professionally evaluate and authenticate your coin. Once verified, list it through trusted auction houses or coin dealers. Do not rush to sell it on basic marketplaces. You could be leaving thousands on the table. But let me be real for a second. These rare coins don't just represent money. They represent second chances, new beginnings, financial peace. You could finally pay off that mortgage, fund your child's college, start the business you've been dreaming of, or just take a deep breath and know you're no longer living check to check. Because one forgotten coin can do that. And here's the part that keeps people up at night, you might already own it. Imagine finding out years later that you gave away the $1 million dime at a vending machine. Yeah, not exactly a bedtime story you want to tell the grandkids. So before you walk away from this video and forget everything you just heard, do this. Go check your coin jars, your piggy banks, your junk drawers. Your future might be sitting under a pile of old receipts. And if you want more insider tips on valuable coins, hidden treasures in your own home, and how to turn small change into big wealth, subscribe right now. This channel is your guide to the secret millionaire lifestyle most people overlook. Because the next rare dime could have your name on it. Imagine finding a dime, just 10 cents, and discovering it's worth more than your house. 1989 Roosevelt dime, with a tiny P mint mark, has been valued at $989,000. Yes, you heard that right. Nearly $1 million. Not for a bar of gold. Not for a Picasso painting. But for a coin you might already own. Before you toss that change into the tip jar, look closer. Because this one small mistake from the US Mint could be your financial miracle. Now, I know what you're thinking. A dime? Seriously? Why would anyone pay that much? And in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you exactly why, how to spot one, and what to do if you find it. Stick around, because what you're about to learn could literally turn your pocket change into generational wealth. But fair warning, once you know this, you'll never look at coins the same way again. Let's rewind the story. The year is 1989. George H. W. Bush is president. Gas is 97 cents a gallon. And the U.S. Mint in Philadelphia is producing millions of Roosevelt Dimes. But something goes wrong. An error. A flaw. A minting mystery. Some dimes leave the mint with misalignments, double dies, off-center strikes, and in very rare cases, ultra-sharp strikes on planchets not meant for dimes at all. These mistakes were never meant to leave the facility. But some did. And now, collectors will pay hundreds of thousands to own these rare anomalies. Here's what makes the 1989 P Roosevelt dime potentially worth $989,000 today. Double die obverse, where Roosevelt's profile and inscriptions like Liberty appear slightly duplicated off-center strike, where the image is not aligned properly on the coin, full bands, sharp, full horizontal bands on the torch on the reverse, indicating exceptional strike quality, mirror finish, planchet errors, where the dime was accidentally struck on a proof or foreign planchet. Some of these coins are one of a kind, and in numismatics, that means big, big money. When was the last time you actually checked your pocket change? What if that coin sitting in your junk drawer, the one you've ignored for decades, is worth 6 or even 7 figures? I know a man in Florida, retired veteran, found a rare Roosevelt dime while sorting through an old coffee can of coins. He sold it at auction, 6 figures. Overnight, he said, "I didn't believe it until the check cleared." Well, now he lives beachfront.
No mortgage.
No stress. And here's the kicker, he had no idea what he was sitting on for over 30 years. Let that sink. By the way, if you're now digging through the couch cushions and raiding your old piggy bank, don't worry, you're not alone. Just don't tell your kids you're hunting for $1 million dime. They'll never give you back your own change again. Now, if you're wondering how to identify these rare 1989 dimes, here's what to do. Look for the P mint mark, just above Roosevelt's shoulder. Use a 10x magnifying loupe to inspect for double die errors and full bands. Check if the coin appears off-center or has sharp mirrored surfaces. If it seems unusual, don't clean it. That reduces value. Take clear photos and contact a PCGS or NGC certified appraiser. Get the coin graded and authenticated. That's where the serious money starts rolling in. Remember, time is critical. Collectors are always on the hunt, but the longer a rare coin circulates, the more damage it suffers. That $989,000 dime could drop in value if it's worn down. This is your window of opportunity. There are 2 types of people, those who say, "This is probably nothing," and those who say, "What if it's something?" Which one are you? Because every life-changing find starts with curiosity. And today might be the day you change your story, from working hard to living free. Coming up in the next video, I'll reveal another modern US coin that's being quietly scooped up by millionaires, and it's even more common than the Roosevelt dime. You won't believe which one it is. But before you go, hit subscribe, turn on notifications, and leave a comment below if you've got any 1980s dimes lying around. Because the next coin that turns someone into a millionaire might just be yours. Imagine waking up one morning, grabbing your loose change from the nightstand, and realizing one tiny silver coin in your palm could be worth $200,000. Sounds unbelievable, right? Well, what if I told you that a simple 2000 P Roosevelt dime, yes, the same dime that's been floating around in your car cup holder or kitchen drawer, might be your golden ticket to financial freedom? Before you dismiss this as just another coin story, let me ask you something. Have you ever unknowingly thrown away $200,000? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to look for, why it matters, and how to turn a simple Roosevelt dime into a life-changing payday. And trust me, you do not want to miss the details coming in Act 2. Let's unlock this mystery. Shall we? Body, Act 2. The confrontation/storytelling and education. Now, let's rewind a bit. The year is 2000. The world just survived Y2K. Flip phones were still a flex, and somewhere in the Philadelphia Mint, a small batch of dimes rolled off the presses with a twist of fate. On the surface, these dimes look normal. Standard design. Roosevelt's dignified profile. The shiny silver coating. But hidden in a tiny fraction of them are rare minting errors and die varieties that make collectors' hearts race and wallets fly open. We're talking double die obverse, off-center strikes, missing clad layers, and even extremely rare proof-like finishes that somehow made it into regular circulation. And here's the cliffhanger. Only a handful of these valuable 2000 P dimes have ever been confirmed. Which means Your dime could still be out there, sitting in your pocket change, waiting to be found. Now ask yourself, do you feel lucky today? But wait, let's break down exactly what makes this dime so outrageously valuable. You see, not all dimes are created equal. The Philadelphia Mint in 2000 produced over 1.2 billion dimes. Yes, with a B. But among them, only a rare few were struck with imperfections, tiny deviations caused by worn dies, doubled images, or misalignments. Most of these flaws are unnoticed by the average eye, but for collectors, they're pure treasure. And when we say treasure, we mean auctions closing at $75,000, $120,000, even $200,000 for a single dime. One specific Roosevelt dime graded MS-68 with a full torch, meaning the bands on the torch are fully visible and perfectly struck, sold for a jaw-dropping sum, simply because of its pristine condition and rarity. Now imagine if you had two of them. Where 10. Sounds like a dream. Let's keep going. Here's where the fear kicks in. What if someone in your family, your father, your aunt, maybe even you, already had one of these and unknowingly spent it on a vending machine soda 20 years ago? That dime could have paid for your retirement, your kids' college, or a new beachfront condo in Miami. Painful thought, isn't it? And yet, people are still doing it. Every single day. But not you. Not after this video. Because now you'll know exactly how to protect your fortune disguised as pocket change. Mint mark must be a clear P from the Philadelphia Mint. No mint mark? Different story. Double die obverse, DDO, check Roosevelt's eye, mouth, and Liberty for doubling. Full bands, FB. Look closely at the torch on the reverse side. If the horizontal bands are clean and sharp, jackpot. Off-center strike. If the design is shifted significantly from center, huge value increase. Missing clad layer. If your dime has a coppery appearance on one side, don't spend it. Examine it under light. Still with me? Perfect, because we're just getting to the juicy part. Quick reality check. If you're watching this and now frantically digging through your sock drawer or asking your dog if he ate any change, you're not alone. In fact, last week, a viewer emailed us saying he went through 7 old jars from his garage after watching a similar video, and he found a $4,000 error dime. Not $1,000,000, but still way better than socks and dust. So yeah, your grandma's coffee can might actually be more valuable than her antique furniture. Back to business. Now you might be wondering, if these dimes are so rare, how do I even know if mine is legit? Great question. But we'll get to that in a moment. First, let's talk about the market, because time is money, and in the coin world, timing is everything. Right now, in 2025, the coin market is booming. Millennials are getting into collecting. Baby boomers are cashing in. And rare coin prices are at an all-time high. That 2000p Roosevelt dime with the right condition and mint error, currently fetching $200,000 or more at top-tier auctions. But here's the kicker, those prices are expected to climb, especially as more collectors enter the space and the remaining dimes get locked away in private collections. So if you've got one of these coins, don't clean it, don't scratch it, and definitely don't sell it at your local pawn shop. Instead, have it professionally graded. PCGS and NGC are your best bets. Once graded, you can list it through reputable auction houses like Heritage Auctions or Stack's Bowers, or even private collectors who are hungry to get their hands on coins just like yours. Here's the truth. Most people walk past opportunity every day and never even know it. But you're different. You're curious. You're ready. You're not just looking for coins, you're looking for freedom. And sometimes, freedom comes in the size of a dime. So if this inspired you, if it got you wondering what treasures are hiding in your home, your childhood coin jars, or your late grandfather's old tool chest, subscribe now, because we're diving into more coins, more stories, and more ways to unlock the hidden fortune sitting right under your nose. Imagine walking past a loose dime on the sidewalk, flipping it with your foot, and not giving it a second glance. Now imagine if that same dime was worth over $200,000. Yeah, you just kicked away a fortune. Today, we're talking about a small silver coin that could change your life, the 2005p Roosevelt dime. And here's the kicker. It's hiding in plain sight, inside change jars, sock drawers, forgotten piggy banks, and maybe even your pocket. So, what makes this tiny 10-cent coin possibly worth $205,000 or even more on today's market? And more importantly, how can you tell if you own one? If you're 30, 40, 50, even 65, listen closely. Because by the end of this video, you might just realize that your path to a wealthy, stress-free lifestyle has been sitting quietly under your nose. This whole time, let's dive in. Before someone else does. By the way, if you're still thinking, nah, no way a dime's worth that much, let me ask, when's the last time you actually checked your change? Exactly. Let's talk about the dime that's quietly disrupting bank accounts across America. First, the basics. The 2005 Roosevelt dime with the P mint mark was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. Over 1.5 billion of them were produced. So how could one possibly be worth six figures? Well, like life, it's not about how many there are. It's about how rare the right ones are. There are three key reasons why this particular dime has become a treasure. 1. Minting errors. Some 2005 P dimes were struck with off-center designs, missing elements, or die breaks. Imagine a dime where Roosevelt looks like he's melting off the edge or missing parts of his head. Collectors pay thousands to hundreds of thousands for bizarre defects like these, especially if the coin is in mint or near perfect condition. Point 2. Full torch designation. Now, here's where it gets juicy. Only the sharpest, cleanest strikes with full torch details, meaning clear lines on the torch in both flames, earn the FT or full bands label. And let me tell you, when those details are laser sharp, the value can skyrocket. Think $10 coins suddenly auctioning for $1,000, $10,000, or even $205,000 with the right grading. Point 3. Perfect grades. The MS68 plus club coins graded MS68 and above by PCGS or NGC are like Olympic gold medalists, top of their class. For the 2005 P Roosevelt dime, only a handful have been certified this perfect. That kind of rarity attracts elite buyers, wealthy collectors, and yes, even Wall Street types diversifying with precious coins instead of stocks. And just wait until I show you the one auction that stunned the entire coin collecting world. A simple-looking dime, barely touched, that sold for the price of a luxury sports car. We're almost there. Let's talk dollars. Real dollars. In 2023, one of these 2005 P Roosevelt dimes in MS68 FT condition sold for over $205,000 at a private auction. Not because it was made of gold, but because it was perfect, rare, and beautifully flawed in all the right ways. So what does this mean for you? It means that your ordinary coins, the ones in that old coffee can or change tray, might be your retirement plan in disguise. And if you're thinking of selling your coins, don't do it blindly. Here's what you need to do right now. Inspect your dimes from 2005. Look for the P mint mark. Use a magnifier or phone camera to check the torch. See if the bands are full. Look for odd strikes, missing features, doubling, or anything unusual. If it looks promising, get it graded by a professional service like PCGS or NGC. Because here's the truth, opportunity doesn't knock. It jingles. And by ignoring that pile of coins in your house, you might be ignoring the exact wealth breakthrough you've been waiting for. They say money doesn't grow on trees. But if you look closely, it might just be hiding under your car seat. Wouldn't it be ironic if your millionaire moment was sitting next to an old French fry? So here's your chance. Don't just scroll away and forget. Start digging, start inspecting, and start believing. Because people just like you, everyday folks, are becoming coin millionaires overnight. If this video helped you see coins in a new light, smash that subscribe button, turn on notifications, and join our growing community of treasure hunters. We're here to help you turn sense into success. Thanks for watching. Now go check your change. What if I told you that a coin you spent without thinking could have been your golden ticket to a $217,000 payday? Yes, I'm talking about a 2017 D mint mark Roosevelt dime. A coin so ordinary, most people drop it in a vending machine. But for one lucky collector, it turned into a six-figure miracle. Now here's the catch. This isn't just a collector's fantasy. This is happening right now in the United States. Right in drawers, old jars, dusty piggy banks. Let me ask you something. When was the last time you actually looked at your change before handing it over? Not just glanced, really looked. Because if you've got the right dime with the right features, you could be holding more wealth in your palm than some folks earn in an entire year. And today, I'm going to show you exactly what to look for, what makes this Roosevelt dime insanely valuable, the history that's made it desirable, and how you can turn your coins into real, bankable wealth. So grab your coin jar. This is not the video you skipped. Let's rewind to 2017. A year when smartphones got smarter, politics got louder, and people continued to ignore the power of pocket change. But deep in Denver, at the U.S. Mint facility, something unusual was happening with the Roosevelt dime. The 2017 D dime. A modern coin, hiding a historical anomaly. Now, on the surface, this dime looks just like every other. Franklin D. Roosevelt's profile on the obverse, torch flanked by olive and oak branches on the reverse, and that little D mint mark tucked beside the date. So what makes this one so special? Let me build the suspense a bit. Imagine a factory printing thousands of identical books, but one copy has the hero's name misspelled, or a chapter printed upside down. Suddenly, that mistake becomes a collector's gem. Coins work the same way. That $217,000 Roosevelt dime? It's believed to feature one or more of these rare characteristics. Double die errors, where parts of the design are imprinted twice clipped planchets. A piece of the coin is missing due to a minting glitch off center strikes. The coin design is printed partially off the surface, or even transitional errors, where a coin was struck with the wrong metal composition or design. But here's where the plot thickens. Some experts speculate that a small batch of these 2017 D dimes were struck using experimental planchets, coins struck on blanks not meant for Roosevelt dimes. We're talking wrong metal errors that could make your dime weigh less or more than expected. Suddenly, a 10-cent piece becomes a six-figure asset. Let me ask you, have you ever weighed your dimes? I know, sounds ridiculous, but right now, some of these coins are quietly being passed around at face value. Their owners? Completely unaware. Meanwhile, savvy collectors are snapping them up and reselling at auctions for life-changing amounts. Quick reminder, a verified error 2017 D Roosevelt dime recently sold for $4,217,000.OK. Quick reality check. Imagine dropping a $200,000 dime in a parking meter. That's the kind of pain that keeps coin lovers up at night, that if you just flinched, you're not alone. So, how can you avoid that nightmare? First, pull out every 2017 D dime you've got. Check jars, purses, glove compartments, couch cushions. You'd be amazed how many coins are hiding in plain sight. Second, use a magnifying glass and look for signs of doubling, odd strikes, missing details, or anything off. Trust your instincts. If it looks weird, it might be worth inspecting. Third, weigh it. A standard Roosevelt dime should weigh 2.268 grams. If yours is way off, congratulations, you just found a reason to celebrate. And remember, condition matters. If the coin is in mint state, meaning it's crisp, uncirculated, nowhere, the value skyrockets. Here's the truth. We live in a world where most people chase get-rich-quick schemes, side hustles, or risky investments. But sometimes the wealth is already in your hands. The only thing standing between you and a six-figure payday is knowledge and a bit of curiosity. Coins like the 2017 D Roosevelt dime remind us that value isn't always about appearance. It's about rarity, timing, and awareness. You don't need to be a numismatist. You just need to look, pay attention, and take action. So, what's stopping you? Do you really want to keep ignoring that jar of coins sitting under your kitchen sink? What if it holds the dime that changes your life? You've seen the numbers. You've heard the facts. And now you're at the edge of a decision. Will you check? Or will you wonder for the rest of your life what could have been? But wait, what if I told you the 2017 D dime isn't even the rarest one out there? In our next video, I'll uncover another Roosevelt dime that has experts completely baffled. A coin so rare, even seasoned collectors can't agree on its value. Hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss it, because your next coin might just be the one. Stay sharp, stay curious, and always remember, your change could be your chance. Wheel.